Hari Om, welcome. After 2 days, we are going to have Adi Shankara Jayanti and we are celebrating it here in Adi Shankara Nilayam. So today I would like to invoke Shankaram and Shankaracharya, both. Shankara Shankaracharya Sadguru Sharva Sannibha Sarvesham Shankara Santu Satchidananda Rupinaha. Shankaraha Shankaracharyaha Sadguruscha Sarve Kidrushaha Sharvasannibhaha. All are equal to Sharva. Sharva Shiva. Sarve Sharvasannibhaha Sarvesham Shankaraha Santu. All these, that is Sadguru, Shankaracharya and Bhagavan Shankara himself, let them be Shankara for all of you, because all of them are Satchidananda Rupinaha. They all are comprised of Sat, Chit and Ananda. Let us all pay our greatest of homages and attributes and tributes to Adi Shankaracharya in Adi Shankara Nilayam. And this is an open invitation to you all to come and visit this place and be blessed. Okay, now with this we'll go forward, and last time I had given some exercises. Some people have answered some questions, so let us go first to the questions and then start from where we stopped last time. So there were some Pathabhedas which I was discussing, and one of that was Vidushaka telling, Ganadasa, that udaram bhari samvada or urabhra sampatam, pashyamo urabhra sampatam. And Vishwanath Rao has replied that it should be udaram bhari samvada and not urabhra sampata. But I sometimes, I have a feeling that in Vidushaka's, though, Vidushaka is a glutton and he's a foodie, he loves food, and therefore udaram bhara and all the modaka, this, that will always be a part and parcel of his conversations. Yet, looking at the other references which are there, I feel it is urabhra sampata really fits in here, because this is like a fight between two rams. So there is Jaya and Parajaya. It's not only that they are filling up their stomachs and bellies and they are the paid servants of the king and the queen. Here Vidushaka is looking at them as two rams who are fighting to be or not to be. And another thing, there is a reference like, I'll read that. There is Matta Hastinoho. They are compared to the intoxicated elephants. Vidushaka says, when queen remarks, Nanu Kalaha Priyosi. And that time Vidushaka says, Ma evam. Anyonya kalahitayoho matta hastinoho ekatarasmin anirjite kutaha upashamaha. This is before the verse number 16. Okay. So they are already compared to matta hastinoho. So one more comparison of, the mad rams fighting with each other. I think that works here good. Okay. So this is my logic. You can have your logic as well. Okay. Then another question was, why Sharad is used in the place of Samvatsara. In fact, there is an answer by Kashmira Kailashi, and she has given from Amarakosha so many words meaning Samvatsara, okay? Like Samvatsara, Vatsara, Abda, Hayana, Ayana, etc., etc. But my question was specifically, why Sharad is used to denote a year and not, any other Rutu? And I had given a clue. Jate, I had given a clue. Sharadivai bhuyishtha rogaha. And I think that clue is very aptly and skillfully, cleverly picked up by two people. One is Pratibha Atle and the other is Uma Iyer. and both have replied, very positively, as was expected by me, that Sharad is a season which comes in the, all the seasons have, they come on some joint. Sharad especially would come on the joint of Varsha and the Hemanta, right? And therefore this is the hottest of the seasons. Sharad is hottest of the seasons. You just see, it falls somewhere in September, October. We always talk about the October heat. That is more hotter and that is more, inviting so many ailments and sicknesses rather than in the month of April and May, which is really the Grishma, right? And therefore, there is the Pitta Prakopa in Sharad. There is too much of acidity and diarrhea and other digestion related sicknesses. So if a person survives that Sharad Ritu, he would survive for the rest of the Ritus, and therefore Sharad is used to denote a Samvatsara. So how many Sharads a person lives? How many Sharads a person can survive? So that is very aptly picked up by Uma and Pratibha Atle. Congratulations, I am so happy that you really are working hard on your homework. So just keep doing these exercises. This is fun, and keep enriching yourself. What else, right? Now just a quick recap that Vidushaka has instigated the fight between Ganadasa and Haradatta, but somehow Dharini is trying to avoid that. At every step, she wants to interfere and interrupt the entire process, and doesn't want to give any sort of encouragement to the king so that Malavika would be seen by him. As it is, she is afraid, and she has got the glimpses, she has got the signals from the king, because when the very moment king saw her in the portrait, he has been asking about her. She tried to, anullekkhani marane. She did not even pay any attention to the king, but the little girl Vasumati, she said, "Oh, this is Malavika." He was asking for the name the moment he saw her. The Queen Dharini did not pay any attention to him, but he got to know the name at least from the little Vasumati. And from there on, Dharini is trying to keep Malavika away from the sight of Agnimitra. She is trying to protect Agnimitra or protect Malavika, but she is trying to, separate both of them. She is not allowing Malavika to come in front. And now this fight is going to bring exactly the same, and therefore she is trying at every step. She has tried her level best to prevent this, and ultimately she tells, to Ganadasa, Alam Aryaputrasya utsaha karanam manoratham purayitva virama nirarthakat asmat arambhakat. Please stop here and now. I don't want this verbal fight, and then as a result, you will be presenting your disciples here and all that. I don't want at all this. Now Vidushaka doesn't lose any opportunity to instigate more. The more Dharini is trying to prevent, the more Vidushaka is trying to instigate Ganadasa and try to tell him, the queen is trying to save you, because otherwise you will get defeated by Haradatta. He is an old person. He is appointed by the king, and you are a newly appointed person by Queen Dharini. You have got a new Shishya called Malavika, all that stuff, So you are going to get defeated. So better, as the queen says, better Virama. And then he tries to instigate him by saying, Sushtu bhavati bhanati. Whatever that queen is saying, it's well only, it's good only for your benefit only. See, Bho Ganadasa, Sangeetapadeshena Saraswati Upayana Modakan Khadataha Kimte Sulabha Nigrahena Vivadena. He is accusing Ganadasa. you have got this Sangeeta Pada. Pada is a Pratishtha, is a Padavi. What Padavi you have got? You are a Sangeetadnya, you are a Natyacharya. So this is a Padavi you have got. And normally for the Sangeeta and Natya, these performing arts, Saraswati is the Adhishthatri Devata who is worshipped. And when she is worshipped, people will bring some modakas, some fruits, some pedas, some sweet meats, And who will be the adhikari to take all that? The Natyacharya, the Sangeetadnya. So he is pinpointing that Vidushaka is a glutton. His eye is always on the food, especially the modakas. And therefore he says, Sangeeta apadeshena, under the pretext of Sangeeta. It is Sangeeta apadeshena or Sangeeta padena. Pada is pratishtha. Okay, again there is apadesha and Sangeeta padena. Saraswati upayana modakan khadataha. You are eating the modakas which are gifted to Saraswati. Saraswati upayana modakan khadataha kimte sulabha nigrahena vivadena. What will you do with this vivada, this debate where you are easily going to be defeated? Sulabha nigrahena. Your nigraha, your capturing, your defeat is very easy. Sulabha. So Haradatta is sure shot going to defeat you. Sulabha nigrahena vivadena. Now here, because it is Saraswati upayana modakan khadataha, there is another pathabheda. Instead of sulabha, it is sumukha or mukha nigrahena. That means you will have to shut your mouth because you will not get any more modakas because you are going to get defeated and you are going to be dismissed from here. Now this is again an instigation, This is an instigation given by Vidushaka. And Ganadasa says, Satyam ayameva arthaha devi vachanasya. It could be a question or it could be an assertive sentence. Okay. In one edition which I am referring to, this is edited by Ramchandra Mishra. He has taken it as a question, whereas M.R. Kale takes it as an affirmative sentence. What is the difference between the two and what would you prefer? Okay, again, something for you, some exercise for you. So, Satyameva ayam arthaha devi vachanasya or devi vakyasya. This exactly is the meaning, when the queen is telling me to stop here and trying to prevent me from the whole endeavor. This is the meaning. That means people will think in this manner, right? That is one sentence, that is one meaning. And otherwise it could be a question. Satyam ayameva arthaha. Does Devi also intend the same? Does the queen also want to indicate the same, that I have been eating the modakas, and I am not doing my work very efficiently, and I am just under the pretext of Sangeeta, I am just enjoying all the luxuries and all the facilities which I am getting, and I am not doing justice to my job? Does Devi also feel that way? So this could be a question, or this is the meaning, of the Devi Vachana. If you are telling me to stop, what Vidushaka is telling me, all people will feel the same manner. That this Ganadasa is just enjoying all the luxuries and not doing his job at all. And therefore he says, Shruyatam avasara praptamidam. Now I got an opportunity. This is a necessity, this is the demand of the time that I should tell you something from my side, that how loyal I am to my profession. Shruyatam avasara praptamidam labdhaspadosmi iti vivadabhiroho titikshamanasya parena nindam yasyagamah kevala jivikayai tam jnanapanyam vanijam vadanti. Very beautiful verse. Tam jnanapanyam vanijam vadanti. This can go, in line with the Shlishta Kriya Kasyachidatma Samstha. This is similar, echoing the same tone, more or less. He says, Ganadasa says, Labdhaspadaha asmi. Just now, because I have got some pratishtha, some aspada, लब्ध आस्पद लब्धः आस्पदः येन सः तादृशः अहम् अस्मि इति कृत्वा यदि विवादात् बिभेमि, if I am afraid, if I shy away from such a debate, vivadabhiroho, and titikshamaanasya parena nindam, and go on enduring the accusations and criticisms by other people, like Vidusha is calling me, just a glutton and just a foodie, and I'm enjoying the modaka, I'm not doing my job, I'm afraid of showing my upadesha darshana, etc. All other people will think in the same manner. Oh queen, do you want me to suffer like this? Titikshamanasya parena nindam yasyagamaha kevala jeevikaye. I would like to tell you, your highness, that yasya agamaha kevala jeevikaye, one whose learning, whose education, whose training is only to earn the livelihood. Very mark it. One whose education is meant to earn only the livelihood and nothing beyond that, that person, and a trader who barters, something in the exchange of what he gets, the money, and he sells some goodies and some commodities to you. What is the difference between a trader and such a person? Tam jnanapanyam vanijam vadanti. I would be then equated with a vanik, with a trader, with a baniya. Okay? And what I am trading in? Only knowledge. Okay? Jnanapanyam. Panya is a commodity. Pana is to barter. Pana is to barter, to exchange. So, panya is a thing which is exchanged in exchanging something else. In olden days, there was barter system. You give some rice and get some curds. Even I was young. I used to go to Abhigeri, my maternal ancestral home. And when all of us were together, though there were cows and buffaloes in the house, the milk and the curd was not enough. So we used to go to the Vakilger Mane, the people nearby, and buy some curd, not with money. Give them some, this zondala, jwari we used to give them, one like winnowing basket, filled with that, and get a vessel of curd. So that was barter. Now here I am getting the modakas and I am selling my jnana. So I will be just a vanik. I will just be a trader. I don't want to be called a trader. I have never considered my education, my learning as a means of earning my livelihood. I really am passionate about it. I relish it. I enjoy it. And it is much, much more beyond earning the livelihood. It is my very soul. It is my very life. So Ganadasa is such a, what you can say, very genuinely, passionately in love with his profession, and therefore whatever he does, it is not just to earn the livelihood, his upajivika, his vritti, but much more than that. And if I am doing only for the livelihood, there is no difference between me and the traders. Only thing is the traders will sell other commodities, whereas I am selling my knowledge as a commodity. Jnanapanyam vanijam vadanti. And I don't want to be accused as a vanik. I am a person who really who is really a believer in the Sangeeta Shastra and the Natya Shastra, and has full confidence in his own capacities. And capacity of not only performing his own self, in his own, with his own bodily gestures, but imparting that knowledge to his students and building up, grooming up new students who are equal to him, if not more than him. So, tam jnanapanyam vanijam vadanti. Now the queen, She still wants to insist, no, Malavika should not come in the front, right? All her efforts are headed towards that. And therefore she says, but achiropanita te shishya, you have recently accepted her as your disciple. Achira, very, very now recently, not that she has been learning with you for many more years. Achiropanita te shishya tad aparinishtitasya upadeshasya anyayam prakashanam. Aparinishtitasya upadeshasya prakashanam anyayam. The advice or the training, upadesha, given to a person who is not well established, aparinishtita, showing that, manifesting that, exhibiting that is anyaya, inappropriate, improper. So she is not yet parinishtita vastu. She is not a very old student of yours whom you can depend upon, who you can depend upon. She is just recently was brought to you, and therefore I don't want, you to suffer on account of her. Because she is a new student of yours, she might not do justice to your training, right? And therefore, aparinishtitasya upadeshasya prakashanam anyayam. And Ganadasa says, that is the very reason why I insist. Tadeva ataeva me nirbandha. That's why I insist that I want to exhibit my students' caliber here, because I have full confidence in Malavika. If you remember in the Vishkambaka, the Kaumudika, Bakulavalika and Ganadasa, they have a conversation, and then Ganadasa asks Bakulika, where did this patra, the Dharini got this patra? And then Bakulavalika tells him about that, and then she asks him, that queen has asked me to, sent me to ask you, how is she doing? And then what he says, she is Medhavini, she is very intelligent, and whatever I tell her, pratyupadishati iva me bala, as if she teaches me in return. Whatever I want to teach her, by doing that in a better manner than what I teach her, as if she is re-instructing me into the same thing. So he has full confidence into her, and therefore he says, Ataeva me nirbandha. Then the last thing, Devi wants to avoid, to bring Malavika on the forefront is, Tena hi dvau api upadesham bhagavatyai darshayatam. See, the king has already said that let Parivrajika Bhagavati Pandita Kaushiki be the Prashnika, the judge. Then both of you, Haradatta and Ganadasa, both are present there. Both of you show your caliber through your disciples to Bhagavati. Why should you bring them in front of Agnimitra? This is the last time she wants to avoid. Parivrajika steps in now. She says, Devi, na etanyayam. See how the drama gets built up, sentence by sentence. This is the dramatization of the whole incidents, Otherwise, this whole debate could have been, shuffled up, and you could have washed your hands off it by, just declaring, they both showed this, their caliber through their students, and Malavika was superior or Iravati was superior, whatever. But how this slowly gets built up. There is, oscillation between, whether this will happen or not happen. Agnimitra's heart is pumping blood very fast, whether Malavika would be coming in front of him or no. Because Devi is trying her, what you can say, every bit of her intelligence to avoid and prevent this whole show. Then she says, Tena hi dvavopi upadesham bhagavatye darshetam. Parivrajika steps in, says, Devi naitadnyayam. This is improper. Why? Sarvajnasya pi ekakinaha nirnaya abhyupagamaha doshaya. This is quite logical. Whatever Parivrajika says, we don't even get suspicious about the thing that Parivrajika might be a privy to to Vidushaka. Perhaps Vidushaka has taken her into confidence and usko patti padhai hai, aap aise bolna, waise bolna. We don't even suspect, because whatever arguments she makes, the earlier she said, pattane vidyamane api grame ratna pariksha. When you are there, why should you ask me to be the judge? Right? Now here she says, though I am good, sarvajnasya api, but still if I see it alone, all alone, and I were to judge, that nirnaya abhyupagamaha, that declaration of the examination, of the judgment will be doshaya. It will not be free from flaws or faults. Alone person, judging anything might be, it is subject to errors. It could be erroneous. And therefore you always see, whenever there are judges for certain competitions, there are minimum 2 or 3 judges. And then we take an average. You must have also seen any elocution competition, stotra pathana spardha, kavya vachana spardha, whatever. There are 2-3 judges, because one judge, his mental disposition, he is thinking something of the home, or children and husband and this and that. So we can't say that, his nirnaya would be really good, proper. And therefore, sarvajnasya api ekakinaha nirnaya abhyupagamaha doshaya. I had told you last time that how Kalidasa brings in beautiful alankaras in Gadya Vakya. This is also one Arthantaranyasa, a very universal statement, Alone person should not be giving any judgment, and therefore there is a bench of juries. Right? And only the Chief Justice will declare it, but there is a bench of juries. So there are many people deciding on certain crucial thing, especially the Jaya Parajaya, etc., the first and the second rank. And therefore in the examinations also, you have a moderator. There is an examiner, but there is a moderator. If the examiner, out of partiality, out of favoritism, gives, abundant marks to a person, to a student whose handwriting is familiar to him, there comes the moderator to cut it and give it exactly what it is, it deserves, So everything, at every step in our life, we encounter that alone person should not be judging, it could be erroneous. And so what Parivrajika says is just very, very logical, and nobody can suspect. The queen also should not suspect, but the queen suspects her, and she says, Mudhe, Atmagatam, she says, Mudhe, Kim mam jagratimapi suptamiva karoshi? Oh, Mudhe. She is not speaking it openly, right? She can't address Gautami as Mudha. This is only in her mind she is saying, Mudhe, Kim mam jagaritaamapi jagratimapi suptamiva karoshi. Do you think that I am sleeping? I don't see what is going around here. You are treating me as if I am sleeping, but I am very much alert. I am very much awake, and I know what will be the consequences of all these things. Kim mam jagratimapi suptamiva karoshi. But she can't say anything. That was her last effort. Last come last. And now she is like, har gai bechari. And then sasuyam paravartate. She turns her face. She doesn't want to face either this one Agnimitra or Pandita Kaushiki. Sasuyam paravartate. And the king shows her to Parivrajika. The actors who are playing the roles of this Agnimitra and Parivrajika, they have to capture every moment, of the queen's body language, not only her verbal articulated speech, but her body language also they must be able to read. And therefore Raja Devim Parivrajikayai darsheti. See, she is angry, she has turned her face. And so Parivrajika tells her, Animittam Induvadane. She is addressing the queen as Induvadana. What a beautiful Chandramukhi, Induvadana. Animittam Induvadane, Kimatra Bhavataha Parangmukhi Bhavasi. Why are you turning your face from Agnimitra? Animittam, without any reason. And the very word she has used, Induvadana, I think this is a very, significantly used adjective for her. Indu is Chandra, Indu is moon, and moon is, always good to look at, very charming, and therefore nobody gives an adjective of Surya to a beautiful lady. It is always Chandramukhi, right? Because very delightful to look at. And therefore, O queen, you are so delightful to look at. I have always been looking at you. All your parijana is looking at you because you are giving the cool and soothing, effect to everybody around you. Why are you so angry? Why are you exhibiting the thing which doesn't behove you? That is not your characteristic. Burning with anger and turning away your face, that's not your nature. You are as delightful as the moon. So this is, I feel it is a Sakuta Abhipraya. Sakuta deliberately, with some akuti, with some deliberation in the mind. Samani va akutihi, samana hridayani vaha. Akuti, deliberation, right? So it's a deliberately used Visheshana which can give you Parikara Alankara. Sakuta Bhipraya gives you Parikara Alankara. Animittam Induvadane Kimatra Bhavataha Parangmukhi Bhavasi Prabhavantyaha api Kutumbinyaha Bhartrushu Karanakopahi Bhavanti. Kutumbinyaha, the wives. Kutumbini is basically a wife and a householder, a mistress of the house. Yasyaha kutumbam asti, sa kutumbini. So bharta asti, putraha santi, parijanaha asti, tadrishi stri kutumbini iti uchyate. Kutumbam asyaha asti iti kutumbini. So kutumbinyaha prabhavantyaha, they have full hold over their families. Normally, it is said, Grihini grihamuchyate, right? Grihini is called griha. What is a house? House is not just four walls and a furniture. House is not only the four walls and furniture plus two bachelors. House is not four walls and furniture plus bachelors and only male members in the house. If there is no woman in the house, what is the show of the house? It doesn't look good. There is no cleaning done. There is no dusting done. The things are like lying here and there, skelterly, here and there. Visit any boys' hostel room, how it looks, right? So, grihini grihamuchyate. So, kutumbinyaha prabhavanti. They have full hold over all the kutumba sadasyaha, okay? All the members of the family. And they have every right to be angry with their spouses. But there should be some reason, no? Karana kopaha. Where is the karana here? Because, everybody knows what is the karana. The karana is Malavika, okay? But nobody is expressing it because everybody is thinking the other may not know it, the other may not know it, right? King cannot express his eagerness and curiosity to see Malavika for obvious reasons. Dharini will suspect. Dharini is already suspecting. Dharini cannot openly say it because if it is not the real reason, it could have been she has provided some reason, some nimitta to Agnimitra. So nobody is discussing the things openly, but everybody has the same thing in mind, okay? But apparently there is no karana. And therefore, kutumbinyaha, prabhavantyaha api kutumbinyaha, bhartrushu, kopishtaha bhavatum arhanti, kintu karanena eva. And therefore, animittam induvadane. When there is no nimitta, When there is no karana, why are you turning your face? So karana bhave karya satta. There is no karana, but the karya, the asuya and the parangmukhatva of the queen is seen here. We have seen two alankaras, Visheshokti and Vibhavana. Try to locate one of the alankaras here. You now have to tell me which alankara is there. There is no karana. Animittam induvadane. Parivrajika is saying, right? Animittam induvadane. And yet you are turning your face away from Agnimitra. I know that you have full control, all on your Parijan and all. But there should be some logical reason, right? To be angry with him. Where is the reason? What is the reason? Vidusha steps in again, wherever required, to instigate, to add fuel to the fire, right? That is his job. Kalahapriya, Kalisa Narad. So he will come again and he says, why you are saying, O Parivrajika akaranam, nanusakaranam eva. There is a reason. You don't know the reason. Let me tell you. Atmanaha pakshaha rakshitavyaha kimanyat. She wants to protect her party. Her party is Ganadasa. She doesn't want Ganadasa to get defeated at the hands of Haradatta. It is so simple. That is the karana. And therefore she is trying to avoid all these things. Don't you understand that? And Ganadasam Vilokya, again one more instigation to him. The more, a confident person is there and you instigate and bring out all his incapabilities, he would be flared all the more to prove his capacity. Right? That's what happens. He says to Ganadasa, Ganadasam Vilokya, Dishtya, oh congratulations Ganadasa, what a good patron you have in the form of Queen Dharini. Dishtya, Kopa Vyajena Devya Paritrato Bhavan. You are protected by Devi Dharini under the pretext of her kopa on Agnimitra. She has Parangmukhi Bhavati Bhartrutaha, right? She has turned her face away, and because of that exhibition of her anger in that manner, she is trying to protect you. Congrats, you got a very good patron. Because again, Sushikshitaha api sarvaha upadeshana darshane na nipuno bhavati. You may be well trained. You have got your education from a very learned scholar. Datta prayogaschasmi, you have said. You have given performances also. But all good people who are well educated, they need not be so good in upadesha, in training the students. Yasya ubhayam sadhu sashikshakanam dhuri pratisthapayitavya eva. Right? So you may be learned, but maybe your kriya is atma samstha, shlishta kriya kasyachid atma samstha. What you need for upadesha darshana is sankranti. Sankrantiranyasya vishesha yukta. So the same thing is echoed in different manners at different intervals, so that this gets imbibed that a good teacher can be called an ideal teacher. A good teacher can be called an ideal teacher only if and when he produces students of his caliber. Normally, a teacher teaches. A good teacher, maybe he trains. But the best teacher is one who inspires. So if you are the best teacher, you must have enkindled that passion for Sangeeta, Natya and Nritya in your disciples, right? Then only you can be called best teacher, ideal teacher, not otherwise. So you are saved, by Devi, because though a person is very well trained, he may not be so good in imparting that knowledge. Upadesha darshane na nipunaha bhavati. Ganadasa gets flared again, by Vidushaka's sentences, and he says, Devi shruyatam evam janaha granati. You look here, this is what people will think. If I don't, if I hesitate, and if you don't allow me to exhibit Malavika here, this is what people will feel. People will feel about me. Tadidanim vivade darshayishyantam kriya sankrantimatmanah yadimam na anujanasi parityaktosmyaham tvaya. Here I go. I will feel that you have abandoned me, you have disowned me, and I will go from here if you don't allow me to show my Sankranti. Vivade kriya sankrantim atmanaha darshayishyantam mam yadi na anujanasi. If you do not allow me, yadi na anujanasi. Anu plus jna is to give permission. Anujna, permission, right? So yadi mam na anujanasi. Kidrusham mam kriya sankrantim atmanaha darshayishyantam. One who will be exhibiting his skills in imparting knowledge in what? Vivade, in this debate. Vivade atmanaha kriya sankrantim darshayishyantam mam he devi yadi na anujanasi. If you don't permit me to do so, I will feel I am disowned by you. Parityaktaha asmi aham tvaya. I will feel that. And asanad uttishtati. He wants to go. There are asanas provided, when the two acharyas came, then asanau tavat, so asane tavat. So there were the stools or asanas brought for them. He gets up from the asana and wants to head towards the exit. And then Devi Swagatam, the last chance is also gone. She can't stop it now, right? And she can't disown Ganadasa only for this trivial reason that he is keen on exhibiting his Sankranti, his disciples' performance, and she is not allowing him. How would it look to the other people? Kagatihi, Swagatam, Kagatihi. I have tried my level best, but I have failed. Then Prakasham, openly she says, Prabhavati Acharyaha Shishya Janasya. So this is the permission granted at last. Acharyaha Shishya Janasya Prabhavati. The teacher has full command over his Shishya, over his disciples. Shishya Jana, the group of disciples, the students. So the teacher has full control over his students. So you do whatever you want to. I won't have any say in that. Ganadasa says, Chiram apade shankitaha asmi. At last, I am relieved. I was suspicious. I doubted you. Apade asthane. There is again a Pathaveda here. Apadesha pade it is. There is something like apadesha pade. Chiram apadesha pade shankitaha asmi. So my doubts, that you really are doubting my capacity as a good teacher who can impart his knowledge, and therefore, you were trying to prevent me from all that, but at last you have permitted me. So this was untimely or asthana for me. Chiram apade shankitaha asmi rajanam avalokya anudnyatam devya. At last the queen has permitted me to go ahead, and therefore chiram apade and apadesha pade, that was what I was telling you. Apadesha shankitaha asmi. Apade is wrong place without proper ground and all that, but apadesha is being ordered away and not allowed to. You were all the time preventing me from exhibiting my Sankranti, my skills, and therefore you were not allowing me to do what I wanted to. Apadesha shankitaha asmi, apadesha shankitaha asmi chiram. So long I had this notion in my mind, but now at last you have permitted me to go ahead. And Rajanam avalokya anudnyatam devya, she has permitted, tad ajnapayatu devaha kasmin abhineya vastuni upadesham darshayishyami. In which particular topic you want me to give my Sankranti Upadesha Darshana. Kasmin abhineya vastuni. Raja feels, innocence and, like, मी त्या गावचाच नाही आहे. I don't want to deliberately say anything. Oh, how do I know? Kim, whatever yad ajnapayati bhagavati, whatever Parivrajika says, at least, he's pretending that, oh, he doesn't know what this all going on, and, by chance they are bringing Malavika and Iravati, and this is all happening just like that, So, yad bhagavati ajnapayati. Parivrajika wants to, like sthuna nikhanana nyayena. Nowhere Kalidasa mentions this sthuna nikhanana nyaya. This nyaya is used many times, by Shankaracharya in his bhashyas and all that. So many nyayas he uses. This is one of the nyaya. The nyaya is very, very simple, very like practical. You might have, all of us, we might have experienced it. When we want to dig a pit and put a pole into that, you dig up a pit and put a pole into that, and after putting that, whether it has gone deeply and it is firmly established or not, for that you just shake it. You shake it vigorously so that it can go still deeper. It is Thuna Nikhanananyaya, okay? So it is just shaking and making it sure, oh, there is no kintu parantu in queen's mind. And therefore Parivrajika says, Kimapi Devya manasi vartate. I feel Devi is little bit, apprehensive. She has given permission outwardly, but inwardly, I think there is something in her mind. जो उसको खाए जा रहा है. She has something in her mind. That Shankita Asmi, I feel that, she is apprehensive and she has some hiccup, some hitch in her mind. Devi says, Bhana Visrabdham Nanu Prabhavishyami Atmanaha Parijanasya. Very sarcastically she says, otherwise Queen Dharini is a very matured and senior queen. And she behaves in a very calm and quiet manner. But for Malavika and Agnimitra, she is little bit, very, very cautious. And they say, whatever you want to say, tell, Whatever attempts you are doing to bring Malavika, after all, Malavika is my maidservant. Right? She is my maidservant. Prabhavishyami atmanaha parijanasya. I have full control over my parijana, my maidservants and servants. She may come here once. You are protecting and you are helping King Agnimitra. But after this, she will be in my custody. I will take every caution and extra care not to bring Malavika in front of Agnimitra ever hereafter. So, Prabhavishyami Atmanaha Parijanasya. You may try your level best for a moment for this particular incident. Afterwards, she is in my control. Prabhavishyami Atmanaha Parijanasya. And then Raja says, Mamacha iti bruhi. Why do you say that you are controlling only your servants? You are controlling me too. I mean, this is a very gallant type of remark, that when there is a housewife and she boasts, that, yeah, the full house is in my control. The husband meekly submits and says, oh, you control me also, right? Mamacha iti bruhi. Very gallant, what you can say, expression of Agnimitra. Bhagavati bhanaidanim. She just ignores the king's comment. Bhagavati bhanaidanim. And Parivrajika says, Deva chatushpadodbhavam chalitam dushprayojyam udaharanti. We heard about Chalita earlier also. So this is Chatushpadodbhavam. It has 4 padas. Chatushpadodbhavam, Chalitam, Dushprayojyam. They say that this is very difficult to perform. Dushprayojyam udaharanti. Tatra ekartha saushrayam ubhayoho prayogam pashyamaha. Ubhayoho prayogam pashyamaha. We want to see the performances by both the Natyacharya on the same theme. If you want to examine, the question paper should be the same. It is not that for Ganadasa the question paper is different and for Haradatta it is different. It is the same. Chatushpadotham chalitam. Okay? So that is the vastu, abhineya vastu. Tavata jnayate eva atra bhavatoho upadesha taratamyam. Taratamyam, the taratama bhava, the high and the low, in their upadesha sankramana, in their imparting of knowledge or transference of knowledge, can be seen if both of them perform on the same topic. Yadadnyapayati bhagavati. Okay? Both the acharyas are ready for that. Tena hi dvau api vargau prekshagrihe sangeeta rachanam kritva atra bhavataha dutam preshetam. You go to the Sangeeta Shala, do all the preliminary arrangements and then send somebody that you are ready, we will come. Athava, or you need not even send anybody. Mridanga shabdaha eva naha utthapaishyati. Mridanga shabda, that sound of the pakhvas, the mridanga, that is a good indication, enough indication for us to rise from here and proceed towards Sangeeta Shala. Ganadasaha Devim Avalokayati. Now this is the last chance for Ganadasa to take the blessings of Queen Dharini because he is patronized by her, right? Ganadasam Vilokya Vijayi Bhava. Okay, be victorious. So Malavika will be victorious, right? Vijayi Bhava na khalu Vijaya pratyarthini ahamacharyasya. I am not opposed to your Vijaya. Please take it from me. Please get assured that I don't ever think that you should get defeated. I am always protective of you and I am always wanting you to be victorious. Na Vijaya pratyarthini. I am not against you being victorious. Ubhau prasthitau. Parivrajika calls them. Itastavadacharyo imau svaha nirnayadhikare bravimi. Because I have to take the decision and the final judgment. That's why I want to suggest something. Sarvanga saushtava abhivyaktaye virala nepatyayoho patrayoho pravesha astu. Very significant remark by Parivrajika. She says that because they are going to enact on a Chatushpadi which is composed by Sharmishtha, the daughter of Vrishaparva, the wife of Yayati. She was a great dancer and a great singer. So it goes on her name, Sharmishtha Kriti, Chalika, Chalita or Chalika, okay? So while enacting that, we should get every, we should capture every movement of the limbs, the anga and the upanga, and therefore, virala nepatyayoho patrayoho praveshaha astu. The patra, both Malavika and Iravati, they should come here on the stage in the Sangeeta Shala in a virala nepatya. There is a pathabheda called vigata nepatya. What is nepatya? Nepatya is, nepatya has 2-3 different meanings. One of the meaning of nepatya is property. For example, if there is a king, then the king's crown and his, the very royal robe and all that will become his nepatya. Sometimes the king will enter without the nepatya, without wearing a crown, without having his, bharzari poshak, that very royal attire and all that. That will be vigata nepatya. Sometimes what happens, the attention is caught by the drapery more. And then the anga saushtava is not seen at all. And therefore to see the anga saushtava, we'll do more of this perhaps in the, I wanted to finish off this act, but this is not finishing now. So, vigata nepatyayoho or virala nepatyayoho, these are the two pathabhedas here. Virala Nepatya is, the elegance of movement of all the limbs should be seen very clearly, and therefore dress them in a proper attire, not too heavy costume. Okay? So, Vigata Nepatya, heavy costume should be taken away. Virala Nepatya, the suitable, their daily wears, whatever they are wearing. Or it could also mean Virala, the meaning which is there in Marathi especially. Virala is, like transparent or not too heavy, not too closed. Viral, scattered. So the Nepatya, their attire should be such that their Anga Saushtava should be seen while they are performing, while they are enacting. So Virala Nepatyayoho or Vigata Nepatyayoho Patrayoho Praveshaha Astu Naidam Avayoho Upadeshyam. Both say, we have been giving performances of this type and this need not be told to us. Iti Nishkranto Devi Rajanam Avalokya. Now, Devi is taunting, the queen is taunting the king. All this has happened as the king wanted it to happen. And therefore she says, Jate ek remark, okay? Yadi rajakaryeshu api idrishi upaya nipunata aryaputrasya tataha shobhanam bhavet. If you were to exhibit the same sort of nipunata, the skill in your rajakarya, that would be great. You are showing it only to fulfill your wishes, your desires, and not in the rajakarya. She is taunting because she got frustrated now totally. Howsoever tried hard, she tried so hard to prevent Ganadasa from doing the performance through Malavika, yet she failed it every step. And it is not because Vidusha and Agnimitra are failing her, it is Ganadasa, her own appointee. He is failing her and he is very keen on exhibiting the skills of Malavika. So she got, frustrated, and therefore this is typical of the housewives, right? Typical of the housewives not to leave any chance of taunting the husbands when it comes as a last resort, because she is frustrated totally and she can't help now doing anything else. Now it is certain that Malavika will be seen in person by the king, and that too for a longer time, because she will be enacting on that Chatushpada, and that too in the Vigata Nepatya for Sarvanga Saushtava, this and that. So how long the king will try to gaze at her and appreciate her beauty, and she will be sitting there helplessly without doing anything else, because she has lost this game. And therefore, yadi rajakaryeshu api idrishi upaya nipunata aryaputrasya tataha shobhanam bhavet. Then Raja says, alam anyatha grihitva. Let us close. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. See you next time, and we'll complete this act and start the next act. And perhaps we'll see how Malavika is performing on the Sharmishtayaha Kriti Chatushpadi Chalita. Hari Om.